Hi, and welcome back to another edition of the preview show. And this week we're going to be concentrating solely on the PGA Tour with the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. This is a great tournament, a wonderful sort of, I suppose, come down from the Waste Management, the carnage that was the Waste Management Open last week in Phoenix. Although a kind of a nice come down because obviously with all the celebrities that will be playing, it'll be a little bit more relaxed than perhaps the standard stroke play PGA Tour event. But nonetheless, it'll be a great event, and I think you can tell that just by the quality of the field that is going to be there. We've obviously got DJ is playing, Rory's first appearance on the PGA Tour in 2018, Jordan Spieth is back, so and then on top of that you've got the John Rahms of this world, Jason Day is there, Phil Mickelson's there, etc. So a quality field. So it'll be really interesting to see how this weekend pans out. The tournament itself is obviously a Pro-Am event. It's played over 3 courses, Pebble Beach Golf Links, so it's, which is where the final round is also played at Pebble Beach Golf Links. They play that twice. They also play Monterrey Peninsula, Country Club, and Spyglass Hill. I knew I was going to forget one of them. So beautiful courses, wonderful scenery by the coastline, by the Pacific coastline. So Q, lots of kind of wonderful scenery shots. Obviously, you've got the classic holes of the short par 3 7th and the final closing hole, which hugs the coastline all the way around. So Q, beautiful scenery shots, the odd whale hopefully here and there, and of course Bill Murray doing his normal shenanigans at any Pro-Am, celebrity Pro-Am event. In terms of the history of the event, I think tends to gravitate towards, I suppose, like most golf events really. When the big guns are playing, the big guns tend to do pretty well. So Jordan Spieth won here last year. DJ has won it a couple of times, finished in the top 4 out of the last 5 years. Phil Mickelson's won a couple of times here. So good players tend to kind of gravitate towards the top of the leaderboard, as you might expect. I think what will be really fascinating this year is you've got some guys in really good form. So DJ's obviously got a track record. Jason Day won a couple of weeks ago at Farmers Insurance, Torrey Pines. John Rahm did well here last year. He's obviously in some decent form as well, although didn't have a great last round at the Waste Management last week. So obviously Rory, again, not played on the PGA Tour, but he's a second and a third over on the European Tour in their two of their flagship events to kick off the season over here in Europe. So be quality field with a lot of players in good form. I suppose the outsider would be Jordan, who's obviously missed a cut. Doesn't seem to be playing too well, but obviously he's come to a course where he's got a track record on, so I expect him to turn up regardless. He's too quality to not. In terms of my picks, so winner this week, I'm going to go with DJ. I know it's a bit obvious, world number 1 and all that, but he's won here twice beforehand. Played very well. He did pretty well actually over in Europe, in Abu Dhabi. I can't remember where he finished. I think it was like top 15 or something along those lines. So it didn't threaten to win the tournament, but certainly gave a good account of himself over the actual tournament itself. Obviously won Tournament of Champions over in Hawaii as well. So he's in good form. He's a great player. He's got pedigree at that course. I just fancy him to win here. I think he's just too good really at the minute. I do think it will be tight. I think Jason Day will push him by the looks of things. It'll be interesting to see if John Rahm can keep his emotions in check for 4 rounds. Because I think he'll push him as well, and Rory I expect to turn up. I don't know whether he's never really done ever so well at this course, but I think this time might be different. He's fulfilling kind of a bucket list wish of his to play with his dad in the Pro-Am, so I expect him to be more relaxed. He seems more relaxed anyway. His game's in good shape, so there's no reason why he can't contend and compete this weekend. But my winner is going to be Dustin Johnson. In terms of each way, I mean, the obvious person for me would be Jason Day at 10 to 1. That's a bit boring, really. So I'm going to go with Brandt Snedeker. Again, somebody who's started to play himself in a bit of form after kind of 18 months of being all over the shop, really, and sort of losing his form. He started to come back into a bit of form. He's won here beforehand, a couple of top 5s as well beforehand. And at 35 to 1 is not bad odds for each way. It's obviously a course and a tournament he enjoys. So I expect to look out for him to do quite well. And in terms of an outsider bet, there was no one really at quite long odds that I really liked the look of. So I've gone with somebody who's relatively short odds, I have to say short, 60 to 1 outside bet, and he is enemy number 1 at the minute, and that's JB Holmes. Fresh off his controversy at Farmers Insurance of making Noren wait for about 5 minutes before he then decided to lay up on the last hole. He's obviously played well here beforehand, a couple of top tens. He's in some decent form at the minute. Hopefully mentally not too scarred from all the grilling he's got on social media and everywhere else over the past couple of weeks. I expect him to have a decent tournament. He's obviously in some good form. Either way, I think it's going to be a great tournament. From a European perspective, something to look out for. This is kind of the first outing where you'll see a number of those guys hoping to make the Ryder Cup later this year will be there. I obviously mentioned Rory a couple of times already. You've got Rafa Cabrera-Bello, Paul Casey and Paul Dunn making their debuts on the PGA Tour this year. Shane Lowry's turning up again. He's sort of disappeared a little bit over the last sort of 12 months or so. But again, this is a tournament he's done okay in previously, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares. All in all, fabulous tournament, played in the right spirits, 3 fabulous courses, great scenery and a quality field. I think we're in for a really exciting weekend. I can't wait to see what transpires on Sunday. As always, post your comments below, let me know what you think. Interested in your thoughts and feedback. Until next time, cheers.